Welcome back to 10 Cents Podcast. I'm your host, Robbie, and across from me on Zoom is my two co-hosts, Dusty Nixon and Adam Nielsen, and we are back as a threesome.
Woo! Whoa,
there's two of us. Whoa.
So now we get to learn about talking over each other all over again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is going to be great.
Luckily, the internet is perfect. There's no delays. There it is.
There's no delay happening. Everything's awesome.
Yep. Perfect internet for all of us. No issues whatsoever. Zoom is great. We pay good money for it.
God damn it. I don't think it's Zoom. That's the thing.
No, it's all three of our internet providers not working together whatsoever. I don't know. I know mine.
I don't understand that either. I don't understand why much.
Like, I can stream anything I want. I can iRace just fine. But for whatever reason, trying to do a fucking Zoom call, it's like, nah, just kidding. No bandwidth anymore. You don't need that.
It's because this video quality is so great. It just takes up so much bandwidth.
Yeah. It doesn't. It really doesn't. But whatever. I don't know. But we're back. We're back to the threesome. And guess what? I have a present.
Jesus.
I'm gonna open it this way so my address isn't shown.
Oh, snap.
Actually, this is gonna be a nice present. Oh. It's a nice present.
I think I know what this is.
It's from my good friend Spencer.
I think I know what this is.
Yeah. You remember Spencer from like episode, I don't know, 8?
I do know what this is.
Yeah. I should know because we did talk about it, and then we kind of just didn't talk about it. Then always he's like, "What's your address?" And then this showed up. I was supposed to be on the show last week, but I'm kind of glad I waited.
Spencer sent me a text message with a picture of what you're about to open, and said, "Hey, do you know Robbie's new address?" And I was like, "No,
sure don't.
I don't."
Keep that to myself.
And he was like, "Well, can you figure out what it is?" And I was like, "I mean, yeah, probably." And I was about to text E-Man, and then he goes, "Fuck it, I just asked him instead. Don't worry about it." Oh, all right, cool.
Man, I haven't seen Spencer in forever, but I'm glad that he still thinks of me. All right,
Spencer and I talk all the time, but we talk work now instead of cars. Yeah, I know, right?
All right, so this is a shirt. And so far, we're off to a hot start because it's not a crappy shirt, I'm guessing. All right, so on the front, it says Headstone Hot Rods, like a little logo on the chest. But on the back, it says Big Wang Gang.
Nice.
Yep.
And it's got a sprint car on it. That's fucking rad.
Don't tell Johnny they're using that term. He'll get all litigation.
He's got enough bullshit to deal with on Facebook, and I'm sick of seeing it. I said it. He's about to get unfriended. I honestly don't have a strong opinion one side or the other. I'm sick of fucking seeing it. Like, I understand you're rage baiting people to talk about like what I'm doing right now, but I'm sick of seeing it, and I've deleted many a friend for doing the same thing, and you're about to get the same thing. So thank you, Spencer, because we are now part of the Big Wang Gang. Hashtag trademark 10 Cents Podcast.
Coming out
he was
hot
excited about that shirt.
Yep. I've gotten 2 great shirts today. So I got that one from Spencer, and then E-Man gave me a shirt today. It's a It's a black shirt, heather black even, and then just in white lettering, all it says is "fucking white people." It's
a sentiment we can all agree with.
We can all agree. It's we can all get behind that. And I don't know where and when I can wear it, because I had it on earlier because I was going to have it on when Jess got home from work, and then we sat down to the podcast. I was like, maybe not be photographed in that.
Hey, that's a thumbnail that'll get us some views.
So I took it off.
It's like my birds aren't real shirt that was given to me.
Yep.
At first I was like, I love the shirt, but I'm not sure I'll ever wear it. And the longer I've owned it, the more I've been happy to wear it. And we went to the Omaha Zoo maybe a month and a half ago or something like that, and I wore it there. And Katie didn't notice it until we had left the house, and she was so mad at me. And I was like, "What? I'm not sure what you're getting at. What do you mean?"
Well, I remember you got
Yeah, that goes
complimented
fine.
when you wore it to Road America that one time. We just got
So
stopped at a
many
random
people
gas station.
compliment me on that shirt, just driving, just like when I wear it places. So many people. It's hilarious.
Yep.
You should have just posted up next to the aviary at the zoo and just been like,
That's the very first bird cage we walked by. I was standing there and I was like, Katie. And then I would point at the shirt and I'd point at the bird and I'd point at the shirt and I'd point at the bird. And she was just like, you're such a dork. Like, I don't, why though? And I'm like, it's funny, Katie. Just laugh.
Just enjoy it. So good.
So,
Yeah. Now, EWI is kind of having a big push for like their social media and stuff, which means like when I present or write papers, my name's going to be on it. And so when somebody looks up my name, it probably shouldn't also show up with a thumbnail with a shirt that says fucking white people on it.
well, it's the good news. You're Robert at work and you're Robbie on the podcast.
I'm Robert on anything that's written. By name, though, everyone calls me Robbie. But yeah, anything professionally posted would be Robert.
So what you're telling me is we all need to follow the EWI social media pages?
So far, I've had no interactions or postings whatsoever, but I probably will eventually. Yeah.
Oh, well, then we're for sure.
I mean, if you want to, I mean,
so we can
by
see
all
how
means.
successful you are.
Sure. Let's go with that.
I like that we've now promoted Robbie's workplace social, but we haven't promoted the show socials in like 5 years.
We should do that.
Hey,
Should we though?
We have a Facebook group, 10 Tenths Consortium.
Not a page though. Don't just leave the page alone.
Who cares? We don't pay for it, so
Dusty's
it doesn't.
like I do because I post my pictures there and nobody sees them.
We don't pay for it, so no one's going to see it anyways. Because Facebook
That's
has ruined everything.
Just know that every time Dusty talks about going to an event, not in a driving capacity, there's probably a album to go with it, and he would love nothing more than for you to go and just click like on a couple random pictures. That's all he wants.
Tag your friends.
the people in the grid life groups do a really good job of that. Otherwise you might as well just take it out in the backyard and bury it. But
Yep. Yeah, it's unreal how hard it is to get any reach if you don't pay for it anymore. But
and also our audience like super hates drift cars.
that's
So
definitely changed over the years.
Like I've posted some what I thought were pretty decent drift car pictures, and they have gone nowhere.
They were great pictures.
I didn't think they were that bad, but yeah.
No, but yeah, 10 Tenths Consortium on Facebook is the group. Still pretty active. We haven't had a meme war or a podcast war in a while, but Booney did get given the North End Wrench phone number, so that might escalate some podcast wars for people that aren't on the show. But we'll keep
I
it
have a
going.
Booney story.
Go on.
So me and one of my coworkers, we go out to eat probably 2 days a week, and there's a decent number of restaurants close to the shop, so we usually just cycle through those, right? And there's one nearby that I'm a particularly large fan of called Slim Chickens.
Oh,
And it's like a Raising Cane's, except infinitely better because Raising Cane's is kind of garbage. I said it, deal with it.
We used to
had
have
that.
one of those down here, but it like went whatever you call a chicken that dies. It went that.
Because it's not that good.
I had it
The
today.
fries are
It's-
awful.
Yeah, it's fine.
The chicken tendies are mediocre at best.
I'm talking about Slim Chicken.
Everything. Oh, Slim Chickens?
Yeah. No, we have we have a Raising Cane's on every corner.
Yep.
Gross.
Columbus has Canes on every corner too.
I would drive
They're fine.
across town to go to a Slim Chickens if there was a Raising Cane's across the street. That's how much I don't like it as compared to Slim Chickens. If I'm going to eat chicken and there is a Slim Chickens within a reasonable time driving distance, I'm going to take that. It just is what it is. But anyway, apparently Booney agrees with me because I ran into him at the Slim Chickens. And so, of course, he decided to just sit down next to me. And then, so he comes in and we make eye contact and I wave, right? And then he makes his order and he gets his food and he comes in. He walks up and he goes and he shakes my coworker's hand and goes, "Hi, I'm Booney." And then he just sits down and like immediately goes into like just fucking razzing me, right? And this is like, I think this was my first day back at work after I fell and broke my back.
Which we'll talk about later.
Yes. And Booney wasn't even aware of it. And I'm sitting here in this stupid brace. And he's like,
can we call it a corset instead?
No, we cannot.
I think we should call it a corset.
What about a bustier?
Yeah, that's probably a more accurate term.
It works like a backwards corset because, like, I don't know if you can see this, but it's got these like little thingies on it, right? And you just pull them, and it tightens up.
Yeah, look how slim and tight your belly looks now.
Yeah. The other thing I've figured out is that, like, I lost like 6 pounds in the first week. And was basically completely sedentary, like couldn't really fucking move at all.
Oh man!
Because this thing's like squeezing my stomach. I'm not nearly as hungry.
Huh?
I don't eat nearly as much or as often with this thing on.
I believe that.
You know how like people get lap band surgery? Yep. That's basically what this is.
It's just out.
It's on the outside.
It's just on the outside. And literally nothing feels better than taking it off at the end of the day.
Yeah, just like a corset.
It is the greatest relief in the world. But anyway, yeah, I ran into Booney, and he just like immediately, and my coworker's like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like, he didn't say anything, and he's like, "But you're like, I can see in his head, he's like, what is happening? Who is this guy?" And like,
what's tattooed on his knuckles?
It's very funny.
We're not even in Boston.
So yeah, it was a weird one, but typical Booney conversation. So
it's been a long time.
Yeah, apparently he's getting back into car things.
Yep, we've had some conversations.
He bought an E30 or has an E30. I mean, he may have always had.
He's had it forever, forever and ever.
But he's putting, I think he said an S54, which, if my limited BMW knowledge doesn't fail me, that's the inline six out of one of the newer 3 Series. I think maybe even M3 motor. I'm 90% certain that's certain. 90% certain that's an ITB engine from the factory, which is pretty dope.
Yep.
So it'll be a cool little car for an E30, I guess, when it's done.
Yeah, because I'll say it's like a project for him and his kiddo.
Yeah. I said, so does that mean you're getting back into racing? And he goes, not if I want to stay married. And I was like, well, I mean, that hasn't stopped plenty of people. So that's not really a good answer. Like, so does that mean, is that a yes then? Or like, I don't know.
We don't know what his plan is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Every time he sends me like, bring a trailer ads and like racing junk ads all the time. And I'm like, you do realize if you buy this, you can store it here. And then you're only 90 minutes from mid-Ohio and just come on out. I'll pick you up at the airport. It just makes too much sense. She doesn't even have to know.
I'm just going to visit Robbie this weekend. We're going to go do stuff in Columbus.
Yep.
Experience the culture, as E-Man would say.
Yes.
And race cars don't just catch on fire or anything.
And they don't.
There's no possible downside.
It's fine. It's
people don't just get hurt driving cars. It's fine.
They don't. It's fine.
Right. People don't fall off ladders and break their backs. It's fine.
People don't just fall down the stairs, Jess.
Am I the only one here right now that doesn't have a broken bone?
Mine is unconfirmed. Mine is unconfirmed.
Broken, Robbie.
Schrodinger's foot.
You have a broken foot. Don't even try to. Apparently, I have a small child dress on the back of this shirt or this chair. I don't know what that is. Anyway,
my toe that time wasn't broken until I went to the doctor a week and a half later.
Yep.
And then it technically wasn't broken then either because it was already stuck back together.
So yeah, my story will take like 5 seconds because I was walking down the stairs, halfway down the stairs, and I slipped. And then my left foot went under my body. So like my right foot slid out, my left foot slid in, and then landed vertically directly below my tailbone. And I stayed in that position for the rest of the stairs. So every stair hit my foot back into my tailbone the whole way down. And then I'm sitting at the bottom of the stair because Jess is there immediately because that sounded very violent as I fell. And then I'm in shock at just how painful my left foot is. And it swelled up pretty good. Then it turned real purple. And I was convinced I broke a toe, my big toe. And I'm like, Well, they're just going to put me in a boot. I can wiggle it. Fuck it. Went to work the next day, came home. The pointer finger toe, totally purple.
Your index toe.
Yeah. And then it goes, the bruise goes all the way across the top of my foot towards my ankle. And now the pain has spread to the top of what would be like the knuckle of my toe.
You probably broke like 12 bones in there.
And so the pain now is gone from the big toe a week and a half later. And it's just on the knuckle part. And I was crawling around on my hands and knees, and I kind of pivoted and put my weight on my foot, like the top of my foot. And I felt like I took like 6 days back and like completely regressed in a matter of seconds. And that's where we are right now. But on a good note, I can put all the force forward that I need to. So I can clutch, I can drive. It's fine as long as I don't put any weight on top of my foot.
So just don't drop anything.
That's what I'm saying. I wear steel toe shoes all day at work. It's fine. It's basically wearing a boot.
Yeah, it's really no different.
And this is America, and I'm not going to go to the fucking doctor to get put in a boot.
I was fully prepared to not go to the doctor myself, and I had a broken back. So.
Yeah, see? It's fine. So I'm fine. Like that. See, it's literally a 5-minute story because I am fine.
Yeah. He's still going racing next weekend, maybe?
Sure. Yeah. The 12th.
Is it next weekend?
Yes.
Yeah, not this weekend, but next.
Not the
weekend that this airs, but the next.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm already thinking about 2026. I've already moved on. But we're still doing this race.
Your foot will be better by then.
Yeah, I've moved on. But we're going to Autobahn. I'm hanging out with Matt Beck. Totally not dropping off like an entire disassembled engine to him to bring to Texas. That's not the priority.
Anything short of 4 fully disassembled engines, he'll be pleasantly surprised. After the discussion we've had this week.
So he's getting free Z32 parts in exchange, so he can't complain. And I bought plastic wrap, and I wrapped every bit in plastic so it won't even drip oil. There's no it's perfect. It's basically ready to ship. That's how packed up it is.
So I'm picturing his rig and what it all looked like whenever they arrived at Road America. And then I'm picturing where all of these engine parts fit into that setup. So I'm excited to see what it looks like when it gets to Sherman.
It'll fit in the back of the van. It's fine.
He can use it as
put it in the car on his way home if he had to.
And it'd easily fit there.
Yeah.
It's just a block, 2 heads, a crank, and a box of like bolts and shit. It's fine.
He'll be fine.
Fancy ARP bolts.
New in box.
Damn.
Yep, plastic wrap still, because Dusty's like, you should send those down. I guess I'll order them today.
Because we're bolting everything up like it's fully assembled, ready to go before it goes in the hone. That way, everything is exactly like it's going to be.
It's got to be, which also means I need to decide what piston I'm buying, so you know what size to machine to. Damn it!
You know,
I mean, I already know.
It's going to get lost in shipping, and then Dusty's going to tell us about how he's putting a new motor in his car.
Yeah, so we're definitely we're way into the weeds on this one, and I got done honing and polishing and porting the intake. It's like a mere finish in there.
Robbie's on a first name basis with Jim Wolf now. I mean, this is
not Jim Wolf himself, but Clark knows who I am. Yes.
That's so ridiculous if you think
Clark
about it.
Clark is the VQ guru engine guy.
Clark is like Cooper Manning. He's the funniest wolf.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yikes.
So back to your foot. Fun fact, your feet contain about 20% of the total bones in your body.
Yeah, see? There's plenty to just that's extra. There's so much extra there.
52 bones in there.
Okay,
actually,
so
26 per
last
foot.
time I broke a bone in my foot, the ER doctor who told me that he used to be a trauma doctor in Aspen, Colorado, and has seen basically every combination of broken bone that exists, told me that I was the first person he has ever seen break the bone that I broke without breaking any other bones, and that he's pretty certain that's the hardest bone to break individually in your body.
That was your arm?
No, that was my foot when I fell off the roof.
Oh, yeah.
Broke my foot.
Sensing a theme here.
Yeah, we take risks, Dusty. Happens.
Yeah. Katie's like, my mom this weekend, she's like, so how many bones have you broken? And so I think I'm up to 9.
Yeah, you got me beat by like a long shot. I'm at like.
And Katie's like, why though? And I was like, because I live, Katie. And because she's never broken a bone ever. And turns out my dad hasn't either. And I've never been more disappointed in him in my life.
It's always safe. Always safe sitting on the sideline, I guess.
So I don't know that my dad has. Now that I think about it,
little people.
Yeah, geez.
I mean, I've broken both my collarbones and my toe.
Oh, okay. I never broke a collarbone. That seems awful.
Shocking.
Football. Yeah, I have football on the left side, motorcycle on the right side.
I was gonna say, shockingly, the only thing I've ever broken is like the little tiny bone that connects like your thumb to your wrist. Like if you hold your hand out like this, and there's like a little indent at the bottom of your thumb, and point there, that tiny little bone that connects all that, I cracked that in half. That's it. And concussions.
I have 2 6-inch plates holding my left arm together.
Yeah, they're freaking massive.
Yeah,
that's a deal. So knowing what my one collarbone that I broke that I actually like fully broke, knowing what that feels like when the weather changes still today, like 25 years later, I can't imagine what plates and screws and stuff feels like.
I don't really honestly notice it that much in my arm.
That's really surprising.
I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm so sore all over all the time. But like, I don't really notice it.
Yep. No.
Both arms just hurt all the time. Yeah. I don't know what.
No. So I've broken both of my what is that? The lower bones, the bones in your forearm. I broke both of those in my left arm, and then I broke the bone that would go from your wrist to your pointer finger on my right arm or right hand. I broke that bone one time skating.
Yep.
And then I broke 2 ribs and my L2 now and my toe.
That one is your
and I broke this. I broke right in front of my elbow on my right arm with Robbie once.
Yep.
Skating.
That's how you lost your traveling job. Yep. I remember that one.
Yeah. So I've broken both arms twice, technically.
Oof.
I'm glad I rode
one of them was at the same time, but it was 2 bones.
I'm glad I rode a bicycle instead of doing.
Dude, we would have been so much worse off riding bikes.
Oh, dude,
Adam and I, for sure.
On a bike.
The reason I didn't do BMX is because I hated how hard it hurt when I fell, which was often.
Oh, dude, if we could have actually if we'd have been doing dirt jumps and stuff like that and could have gotten real speed and air. Oh man,
so much worse.
The level of pain and uncomfort that we would have inflicted on ourselves. No.
Yep.
So
yeah, I was terrible. Anytime the bike left the ground, I just became a statue.
Happens.
Which isn't conducive to So
you did all
it with plenty of people just like that. We get it.
Yep.
So.
But I think we're here, Adam. I feel like we've segued straight into injuries.
Yeah. So
I
anyway,
feel like we'll stick to this theme.
Yeah, we've teased it.
Now it'll be 3 weeks the day after this comes out. At 7:30 at night, I'm still at work trying to finish. It's 100 degrees out, and I'd had a couple of guys that had been working in an attic basically the entire day, and so I went there to try and help them get that finished and get out of that attic safely because I was worried for their well-being because I didn't want them to die of heat stroke because it had to have been 120 plus degrees in that attic. It was awful up there. And so we were there, we had the job done, we were cleaning up. I climbed up on up on a ladder these were single story townhomes, brand new townhomes, and the attic scuttles are in the garage, polished concrete floor garages, right? And I'm up on the ladder closing the attic scuttle, and I have no idea what happened. 1 second I'm closing the attic scuttle, the next second I'm falling through the air. So the ladder basically just disappeared out from underneath me. I don't know what happened. I am very, very, very anal about making sure that the locks that hold the ladder open, it was like a 6-foot A-frame ladder, that those are always pushed all the way down and locked in position. I'm always super anal about that. I always have been. So, it wasn't anything like that. I didn't have anybody holding the ladder, which I should have. Is what it is. I've learned my lesson. Fine, whatever. But yeah, I fell down straight on my butt, and just absolutely, as bad as I've ever had, knocked the wind out of myself, just to a scale that like I have never felt before. And that, honestly, to start with, was way worse than anything else I was dealing with. It probably took me like 3 to 5 minutes to like really get my breath back in me. And like the whole time, like my coworkers are asking me like, are you okay? And I'm like, dude, I can't talk. Like there was nothing but like wheezing and moaning coming out of me. There was no way I could
and not
talk.
the fun kind.
I was trying to find all the air that used to be in my body. I don't know where it went.
Like, I feel like the dissolved air left my bloodstream. Even like that's how hard I hit the fucking ground. It was bad.
Oh.
And I got my breath back in me, and I stood up, and immediately realized that wasn't going to go well. And so I got back down on the ground, and I basically was just like on all fours, like trying to figure out, and like literally going through my head like, great, I'm gonna be sore as hell tomorrow, like this is gonna suck, not realizing at that point how bad it was. And the townhomes that we were in, like a few of them are already occupied by a tenant, and so the lady that was next door to the unit that we were in, which is unoccupied, she was like a paramedic or a registered nurse or something. She was in the medical field, and she knew what was going on. She heard me fall, and she came over to see what was going on, or heard the commotion, whatever. Came over to see what was happening, and she asked what happened, and my coworkers told her, because at this point I still really couldn't talk very well, even though like this was after I had stood up. And she made me lay down on my back and kind of like asked me some questions. And at that point, my entire left arm was like completely numb, tingly, like fucked. And I don't know why, because the broken bone is quite a bit lower than that. But my left arm was not good. But like I could still move my toes and wiggle my feet and move my legs and stuff. And she's like, no, like, there's something wrong here. You need to, like, we're calling the paramedics. Like, no. Like, typical guy stuff. Like, I'll just
What's
get my
that
truck.
like? Yeah.
I'm just going to walk it off.
Yeah. Rub some dirt on it.
Off.
I can't feel my left side, but everything.
I'll just be sore in the morning, but it'll be fine, right? Like, there's no big deal. And so she made one of my coworkers call 911, and it turns out that the fire department and the apartment complex we were in literally share a property line, so they were there in like literally less than 2 minutes.
Wow.
And they kind of looked at me, tried to roll me onto a board, and I pretty much lost it at that point, like, because it was not a comfortable feeling. And they're like, yep, you're going to the hospital with us. Like, cool. So they gave me an IV while I was still on the floor in the garage, and gave me some pain meds, which I of course tried to refuse at first because I'm a man.
Just let me sit in this.
Just give me 1,000 milligrams of ibuprofen and send me home. I'm fine, Yep. And I got my first ambulance ride. Never had an ambulance ride before, so that's an accomplishment that I didn't really need to check off the bucket list, but here we are. I guess at least it's not on my dime. So that's what everyone keeps trying to tell me, which really like doesn't make me feel a whole lot better about the situation, but fine, whatever. And they get me in there and they're like, do you want more pain meds? Nope. I don't want any more of that stuff. I'm fine. And we got about halfway there and I was like, just kidding, guys.
maybe just one more hit.
How much more you got in there?
Where's that needle? Because this isn't going well for me right now.
What is
before
it?
we
Is it just
left
is it just like a localized, just burning ache pain, or is it just like a?
No, it's a very sharp, piercing,
deep within,
but very localized pain. Yeah, it's very sharp and piercing, and like it's very constant. Actually, right now, like I mean, we're here 2.5 weeks later. I have zero pain. Like,
oh wow!
Unless I do something stupid, I have no pain at all. Actually, the bigger problem we'll get to, but so my coworkers called Katie, or no, actually, she called me because she had been trying to get a hold of me all night because she wanted to know if I was home or what she needed to feed the kids and stuff like that. And I wasn't answering her because I was working and I'm not, and I'm like, I'll deal with you in a minute type deal. And then she called me and one of my coworkers had my phone. They're like, yeah, it says Katie Teach Out. And I was like, yeah, answer that. I said, that's my wife or whatever. And they're like, okay. And, so they answered it and gave me the phone and I was like, hey, fell off a ladder. At this point I had kind of accepted because the paramedics were there and all that. And I've kind of accepted that there was something wrong. And I was like, paramedics are here. I'm being taken by an ambulance to Methodist Hospital. Like something's bad. Like, I think I may have broke my back at this point. Like, and so she kind of freaked out a little bit. And the lady that was from next door, she took the phone and like walked away from me and talked to Katie for a little while and got her calmed down, which I really appreciate. And then I'd also tried to get a hold of my supervisor, my boss, and of course he's at his birthday. His birthday supper with his daughter and his girlfriend. And so he didn't answer me. And so then I told one of my coworkers, I said, hey, text Jeremy and be like, hey, Adam fell. There's an ambulance here. He's hurt. He's going to the hospital. And then not even 10 seconds later, my phone starts ringing with my boss. And so him and I have been working together for like 15 years now. Like, so we're, he's more than just a boss, and so obviously he came down to the hospital, which this is not the first time that he's been with me at the hospital for a work-related incident, but that's neither here nor there. And Katie took my kids to our neighbors and came down to the hospital as well. I had a CT scan there. They determined that I compression fractured my L2, which is one of your lower. I think there's L1 through L5, and I think L5 is the one that's right above your tailbone, if I'm not mistaken. So it's down towards the small of your back. It's fairly low. It's kind of just barely above your belly button, basically.
Let me move away from this chart of the foot bones and move to spinal bones.
We don't worry about the feet. It's fine.
So, I spent basically the entire night in the hallway of the ER because I was not considered a critical patient, and Methodist is our trauma 1.
Been there with my wife. It's a fun experience.
Yeah, Methodist is our trauma 1, so that's where the life flights go, and that's where all the people who are really fucked up go. And so I spent the whole night staring at the ceiling because I can't move at all. And I can't take full breaths, so the oxygen monitor on my finger is constantly going off. And the nurse would turn to me and just go, just breathe. I was like, I'm fucking trying, lady. Like, I can't take full breaths because it pushes on my broken back. Like this is not
every time anything moves, it hurts.
Yeah. And so eventually they got tired of listening to that thing beeping, and she got one that like went on my earlobe. And that really actually hurt really badly. And I would
it's like putting a clothespin on your ear.
Yeah, basically.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was awful. I did not appreciate it, but at least it stopped beeping, so they weren't annoyed.
See, problem solved.
Glad this works better for the hospital staff, at least.
Yeah. Happy, I guess. But
did your mic just switch?
It did just switch. I don't know why.
How? It's been doing so good.
Switch. Now it's back. I don't know. That was weird. But yeah, so I got put into the hospital at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Finally, of course, I had to share a room, so that was a good experience.
Ooh.
Kevin, if you're out there, I hope you're doing better. You know. But I spent all day Tuesday in the hospital. Like Tuesday afternoon, they got me this goofy ass brace that I have to wear around my waist. And then Tuesday afternoon, they took me down and I got x-rays while standing because they wanted to make sure that everything lined up. Of course, I've never seen those x-rays because I've never talked to a doctor, which is a whole thing. Like I was at the hospital for almost 48 hours. I never saw a doctor in the ER. I never saw a doctor in the hospital. When I was released, I never saw a doctor, and they were supposed to call me to schedule an appointment, the neurosurgeon, for my 6-week follow-up. They still haven't called me. And it's just been like a really frustrating ordeal, but whatever.
Just so we're clear, there's a reason that Jess left that hospital.
Yeah. Nobody that was there. So Jess, it's been, what'd you say? Like probably a year since
year and a half since she's worked there.
Year and a half. I asked probably 3 or 4 different nurses that were on duty in the ER while I was there, and none of them knew who she was because all of them had not been there long enough to have met her.
Yep.
And they won't, if you went there in 6 months, none of them would be there.
Nope. Yeah. Turnover rate's not good there. Yeah.
No, it's pretty insane.
Yeah.
But I don't know, as it stands today, I have very little pain in my back itself. Like I can stand, so when at first getting up and down was very, very hard. I basically had to have somebody help me get up because you can't tense any muscles in your back. And like, you don't realize how many movements you do on a day-to-day basis that really should not involve your back, but very much do.
There's a reason they call that part of your body the core, because it makes the core of all of your movements.
So things I've learned are really difficult when you have a broken back. Using the bathroom, that's been a challenge. Cleaning up after you've used the bathroom because I can't reach behind myself. That's been a challenge.
You really take your relationship.
I finally got to the point where I can pretty effectively do that.
I was going to say relationship builder.
Yeah, did that just get to the next level?
So far, I haven't had to. I have on a few occasions just said, "Well, I guess I'm going to take a shower now." But I have not had to ask anyone to wipe my butt, so I feel like that's a win. You know, like I'm just. You gotta look for the positives, right?
Yeah, that silver lining's good.
Yeah. In my healing journey, that has not been a thing I've had to do. Katie's had to put my socks on pretty much every day leading up to this week. So far this week, I've been able to put my own socks on, but basically every day prior to Tuesday of this week, I was having to have Katie put my socks on and help me put my shoes on because there's no way I could bend over that far.
No.
I'm not a particularly flexible person to begin with, so that was a deal. But yeah, as it stands right now, the back itself, I have very little pain. I can, I still am not allowed to bend over. I have to wear this brace unless I'm laying completely flat. And the doctor, I'm a side sleeper.
Yeah.
So I've been sleeping in a recliner to prevent myself from doing that. I met with a occupational doctor of some kind for the workman's comp stuff, and he on yesterday, and he approved me to sleep on my side. So last night I slept in my own bed for the first time since I fell. So that's been a really good thing. But yeah, that's been rough. The biggest problem I'm having right now, and after talking to the doctor, I'm a little bit worried about it. So you've got your spinal column, right? And between each of the vertebrae, you've got like the vertebrae looks like it's round, and then it's got two little horns that come off of it, right? And you have nerve bundles that come out between each of those vertebrae and are responsible for feeling and sensitivity in very specific parts of your body. The nerve bundle that comes out between your L1 and your L2 kind of comes out and goes down, and it's basically the one that's responsible for feeling in your groin. And yeah, so when I stand,
all the men just perked up like, excuse me?
Yeah. So when I stand or walk for basically more than 2 or 3 minutes,
I will start to erection.
No,
that'd be awesome.
They're like, "Oh, you break your back, you get an erection." Yeah, well, I didn't. So, but I get a bunch of pain in my basically where your hip and your groin meet, like that part of your joint there, the inside of my leg. I get a really sharp, intense pain that the longer I stand or walk, the worse that pain becomes. And within 30 seconds of me sitting down, it goes away. And I thought maybe at first that I had just hurt my joint there too in the fall. And the doctor told me, nope, what you're telling me makes sense for nerve issues. And basically right now we're hoping that it's just part of, nerve damage is the thing that takes the longest to heal. And so right now we're just kind of hoping that between the broken vertebrae and the compression and just the general trauma that all of that area has gone through, that's all it is. And that as the weeks go on, that feeling will get better, because if it doesn't, that's going to require surgery.
Something in the vertebrae is healing back.
Yeah, right, where if it's healing and maybe pinching something or something like that. But if it doesn't get better, and then it could possibly lead to me needing surgery.
Have they confirmed that your back is straight and where it's supposed to be? Think of it as a spring.
That was the X-ray that I had to take while standing before they would allow me to leave the hospital, was to verify that everything was in line and would heal correctly. So I apparently passed that because they let me go home.
Yeah, I'm very not surprised to hear that you have nerve stuff after compressing all of those real tightly. Yeah. But I'd also be surprised if your back isn't also compressed, and a chiropractor, once you're healed, could actually fix it.
Well, so historically I've had my pelvis will easily get out of alignment, and I have to go especially when I take hard impacts, which skating. I used to do all the time skating, and I would have to get it corrected with a chiropractor visit. And I remember the first time I went, I was having a bunch of trouble running, and when I was skating, because this was during my cross country era, and when I was having a lot of trouble with my right leg when I was running, really bad shin splints and Achilles tendon issues. And when I skated, that foot I would always wear those wheels that really diagonally very badly, and it turned out that was my pelvis being out of whack, and that literally it was so out of whack that my right leg was almost a half inch shorter than my left because it was so crooked.
Yep.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, but I can't go to a chiropractor and have that fixed right now.
No,
because they have to push on my back.
Yeah, you're months away from even thinking about that. Best case scenario.
The doctor that I saw yesterday, he goes, He goes, have you been taking any anti-inflammatories, or have you been using any hot or cold presses, packs of any kind, or have you been doing any stretching? And I was like, well, so I was originally prescribed acetaminophen, and I didn't want to take ibuprofen with it, so I haven't been taking any ibuprofen because that's what he asked about for the inflammation. And I said, I've never really been like the hot or cold pack kind of guy. It's just never a thing that I think about for whatever reason. And then I was like, and I can't really stretch. And he goes, yeah, I didn't think about that. You probably can't do that, can you? Like, no, because literally there's nothing in the world I love more than to stretch out my lower back or like crack my back. Just no way. Get me a middle school desk pronto. Like let's do this. But yeah, that's not an option right now.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I'm light duty right now. I can lift 6 pounds, which basically means nothing.
Your phone.
Yeah.
You can supervise like nobody's business.
So I've made the joke that I'm focusing on the supervisor portion of my title more than I previously have been. So it's been rough. Last week I spent I have a folding chair that I just take with me because I can't stand for any significant period of time or else I get that pain in my groin.
Yep.
And so I literally just take a folding chair with me and I get out of my truck and I go and I pop the folding chair and I just sit there and watch people. And I gotta look like the biggest fucking asshole to strangers who drive by. Like, is that guy really just fucking sitting there on a folding lawn chair just watching people work right now? Like, is that really happening?
You need a megaphone.
Here's me telling, I was telling my dad, the first day after, or when I was back and I was helping, and I had to actually go out in the field, and literally I spent 8 hours of my day sitting in a folding chair watching a couple of my guys work. I was like, there's no way I didn't cut 10 years off my life. Just the amount of physical pain that causes me to sit there and not do and just watch is worse than breaking my back. It's awful. I am not that guy.
They're going to see how good you are at sitting around and promote you to a VP of something.
I'm not good at dude. I fell Monday night. I was in the hospital all day Tuesday. I was released Wednesday afternoon. I went from the hospital to work to get my work truck so I could drive it home, because otherwise Katie would have to bring me to work. And while I was there, the owner of the company and our COO saw me in the office and they came to talk to me, and they're like, well, when do you think you can come back? And I was like, tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm here now, man.
I'll see you at 7 tomorrow morning. And they're like, really? And I was like, yeah, I can't sit at home. I can't do that. It's not a thing. And I woke up Thursday morning and I was much more stiff and sore than I anticipated. So I texted my boss and I was like, haha, just kidding. I'm not coming to work today. But I was in Friday. Yeah. I literally missed, outside of the hospital, I missed 1 day of work. And then I was back at it because I can't stay home. I can't do it.
No, because as soon as you're mobile, you got to go.
Yeah.
I get it.
When I was in the hospital and I got the brace and stuff, the first thing I asked the nurse, I was like, am I allowed to get up and move? And she's like, well, if you think you can handle it. And I was like, I can't handle not doing that. And I was like, I'm just making sure I'm allowed to get up and move.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, as long as you're careful. And I was like, so every 45 minutes or so, I would just get up and walk around my room for 2 or 3 minutes and then lay back down in the bed. It's I can't just lay there. I can't do it.
Yeah.
As long as you're careful. Look at me. I'm the picture of careful.
Yeah. I mean, what's going to happen? You're in the hospital. It's fine.
Right. Yeah.
What am I going to do? Break my back?
Yeah. We're already here.
Yeah. So, yeah. turns out I've been my house is set up for breaking my back because the physical therapist came in and she's like asking me a bunch of questions. She's like, so do you have a bunch of stairs in your house? I was like, no, I have no stairs in my house.
So you're a ranch house
style.
Yeah.
I have a ranch single story house with like a 6-inch step to walk in. Like it's nothing. And she's like, okay, well, what about your basement? And I was like, yep, built on a slab. Like I don't have a basement. I'm Texan over here. Don't have a basement.
Hell yeah.
And she's like, oh, okay. And she was like, well, do you have a taller toilet? And I was like, yep, that was the first thing I installed when I moved in the house was the tallest toilet that Lowe's would sell me because I don't know how people sit on those short ones.
I don't know how you sit on the tall ones with your legs with your legs kicking like that, not touching the ground.
And then she's like, well, do you have any like assistance bars to be able to get up and down or to get into the shower? And I was like, yeah, bought my house from an elderly person and just never bothered taking them down. So, and she's like, well, I guess I'm done here. Like you're all set up. Like, yeah. So let me go home already.
Oh man.
I've already got the crane system in the ceiling to just haul me from the bedroom to the shower.
So, yeah, but I don't know. All in all, it could have been a lot worse. I could have hit my head. I didn't hit my head. I didn't bounce my head off the concrete, which was a blessing.
Yes.
I could have had some sort of nerve damage that would not allow me to walk or feel anything in one of my legs or whatever. Like, all in all, like this could have been a lot worse. So
yeah, 6 feet's no joke.
Thankful that it was as relatively minor as it was. But that being said, I think this, at least the first couple of days, this was absolutely worse than breaking my ribs, which was previously what I would consider to be the most awful bone breaking experience I've thus far had. So, but yeah, that's my story.
Yeah, I feel like any broken bone between basically below your chest line to your pelvis, anything in that area is probably pretty awful.
Yeah, I think anything that's not an extremity.
Yes.
Yeah. Anything that's within the confines of you, because the collarbones, like
collarbones are bad, necks are bad, heads are bad.
If you think about breathing, it hurts.
I remember when I broke 2 ribs, I woke up one morning and like getting out of bed was like a 10-minute ordeal because I was living in a hotel by myself at the time. So it was not good. And I remember I had gotten up on my elbows and was like halfway to a sitting position. And I was like, oh, fuck, I'm going to sneeze.
Oh God. Oh no.
And I remember sneezing. And then I remember waking up 10 minutes later.
Shock. Absolute shock.
Yeah. That was one of the most awful experiences of my life. But yeah, the back has been probably worse. So just like every little thing you do, things you would never think are a problem.
Just rolling out of bed. Yeah, everything.
Yeah, standing up, sitting down, breathing, walking. I mean, everything is just not comfortable. So like while you were in the hospital, and then as the entire rest of the week was going, I spent the entire week doing a bunch of like maintenance in our laser lab. So all I did was run up and down ladders, running fibers for like 2 straight days. And I'm sitting there going, okay, let's not repeat that. Yep.
Don't fall down the ladder.
I've never been more cautious on a ladder.
Yeah. One of my first tasks getting back to work was a complete and total audit of every ladder and climbing apparatus that we own at work. And I threw probably almost half of them away.
Attaboy.
Just because they were at the point where like no one had thought about it. But there were a few of them, like some fiberglass that was starting to fray, and like they're just problems, and they should have been thrown away a long time ago, and just nobody thinks about it, you know, because it's just not a priority because no one's gotten hurt.
Yeah, you wait until it's a problem.
Yeah, it's like the Hans. It's like the Hans device. We had to sacrifice Dale Earnhardt to get the Hans device.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so
we had to sacrifice your vertebrae to get new ladders.
To say that I have been probably to the point of annoying about safety stuff since I got back is probably a bit of an understatement. So, yeah, I know for a fact that my guys are tired of hearing it from me. So,
yeah, well, if it prevents them from falling off a ladder, I think they'll forgive you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there was one of my friends at my old job. He was hanging like OSB on the walls in his shop. And he was on a ladder on a scaffold.
Ooh.
And fell.
That's not a recommended way of doing things.
No, that's an OSHA violation.
Yeah. Yep. So he was on his time. He was working at his shop.
Oh shit.
And landed straight down on both feet.
Ooh.
And it basically exploded both of his ankles and feet. He was out of work for a solid year.
Wow.
And I don't know how many surgeries he ended up having. And it's one of those things like his feet are never going to be like correct again. Like, just one of those, like, this moment is a life-changing thing. So yeah, it can go very badly.
Yep.
Glad it wasn't worse.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess if anybody listening to this can learn anything, it's just don't become complacent. Because I've gone up and down those ladders a million times, and I never thought that I needed to worry about it. And I should have had somebody holding that ladder and making sure that I was not, or that this ladder was going to stay where it belonged, and I didn't. And there was somebody there that could have done it, and we were just in a rush because we wanted to go home because it was 8:00 at night, and I shouldn't have been. So, if you guys can learn anything from it, just remember that even the simplest tasks that you've done a million times can become dangerous.
That's usually the most dangerous.
Yeah.
Because like if you're doing something dangerous for the first time, you're not likely to get hurt.
That's something that goes outside of work too.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Use your jack stands and be safe.
Yep.
So did it go like sideways out from under you, or did it just fold up?
I don't honestly know. I just know that at one second I was standing on it, and the next second I was trying to grab onto something because I was falling.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah, I mean it happens. But
it
like
did
that,
fold
man.
up, and it did fold up and fall down. So I don't know. It was a 300-pound rated, because that was my first thought, was like, oh, this was like 170 or 150 pound rated ladder that we shouldn't be using to begin with, and it just wasn't the right ladder for the situation or something like that. But it's a 300-pound rated ladder. It was in perfectly good working condition. I know that it was latched open like it should be. I must have gotten off balance on it a little bit, and it went one way and I went the other. So,
yep.
But realistically, I only fell probably, 4.5, 5 feet from where my butt was to where it hit the ground. But I mean, my feet were not underneath me when I hit the ground. It was straight down onto my ass.
Oof.
Yeah, and concrete doesn't really give.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we have
your back, as it turns out.
We have a like a storage area in our big shop at my parents' that we just lean a ladder up against it, and like whenever you get to the top of it, you have to step over onto the floor of this storage area, and your head is by the truss in the ceiling of the shop. And every time I do that, I'm just like, this is so sketchy.
Yep.
You're holding that ladder at the base. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we definitely should have someone there. Yep.
So, yeah.
I think that's a show, guys. I don't really want to talk about cars tonight.
I mean, we could real quick
listicles.
talk about We could real quick talk about my dad's stuff if we wanted to, just to make a car show.
I do like that idea.
Take 10 or 15 minutes out of there, and the debacle that has been my dad's gasser. I don't have any pictures of anything specific, but he did last week, I think. Since I broke my back, I know that. I think it was last week. Yeah, he took it to the Wednesday night test and tunes.
That's the blue car, right? The car you didn't send me a picture of.
Yep, the blue car. And made 2 successful back-to-back, perfectly clean, no crashes, no overheating, no blowing up of engine passes.
Hell yeah.
Hey.
He made it to the racetrack without blowing a tire or rolling his car into oncoming traffic. He made 2 successful passes, both of them. So the goal is, I can't remember how fast he wants the car to be, but it's like less than a tenth of a second off of that, and it's still like definitely needs some tuning. It runs it just doesn't run quite right. He thinks he might have a little too much timing in it, and it just doesn't come off the line quite as good as it should. And then, he's like, I don't even know where my tire pressures are and stuff like that. So like there's definitely more than a tenth of a second in it, and he's already a tenth of a second off of where he wanted the car to be.
Dang.
So that's a win.
Yeah,
we're going to take that one as a win. So not this weekend, but next weekend is a gasser invite only event in Bethany, Missouri, which is about 30 minutes north of him, that he's going to go to, and I may not come with. We'll see how my back is doing, how my ability to walk and stand are going. But yeah, that's gotten better, so I'm pretty excited about that.
That's awesome.
Dude, that track looks like an amazing place to have a gasser drag
Bethany,
race.
when you walk into Bethany to the Bethany drag strip, which I believe is called Thunder Valley, because
yes,
roughly 75% of drag strips are called Thunder Valley.
I have to say, there's one just outside of Oklahoma City that has a logo that looks almost exactly like this.
Yeah, so the one that I grew up racing in Marion, South Dakota by Sioux Falls is Thunder Valley.
This isn't even really a valley. There's no hills around here. What's going on?
I don't know, man. But it definitely feels like you've stepped out of 2025 and into 1978. Like a gasser event makes perfect sense there.
Single Armco wall that is like 15 feet of grass outside of the edge of the pavement. Yeah, this is
absolutely the most sketchy shutdown of any drag strip that we've gone.
Is this the one that he ran off the end of?
No.
Okay.
No, that was off the end of. But my dad considered that to be a short shutdown when he had that little altered roadster thing, and that thing was not fast. So
is it just 8th mile, or is it quarter? Okay.
No, it's 8th. The only thing that's paved is the staging lanes and the drag strip itself. The return road and all of the pit area is dirt.
So just get there and hope it doesn't rain. Everything's cool.
The first year that we went to this gasser event as spectators, it rained significantly, and dude, it was a mess. They were pulling trucks and trailers out of the mud with tractors to get everybody out of there. It was a fucking nightmare when it rains there. So, but it's kind of charming in that way. You know what I mean?
This place, I want to go here. This looks awesome.
It's not like part of it's a little too far that way, but also it's kind of nice because it's not like this super sterile, high and tight, just like racetrack. I mean, it's very Ma and Pa, Jim Bob, and my buddy from down the street, and we're just here to hang out and have some fun. So if a race happens, it happens.
The event on the 13th is the Rumble Drags presented by
that's the Gasser event.
It's presented by the Speed Shop and the Toot Toot Restaurant and Lounge.
That's a very popular restaurant.
World famous.
Yep.
Toot Toot.
So if you're going down I-35 or 35, stop in Bethany at Toot Toot.
Wasn't that impressed?
Nope.
It's a style restaurant, and it was fine.
It was fine.
It wasn't like hell yeah, got to do this again. I see why this place is world famous. No, I was like, all right, well, we did that.
Yep, once was enough.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out on buffets. No.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, that's the Gasser update. The Cyclone, I finally saw the Cyclone.
Oh yeah.
I got to hear it run, but we are not driving it right now because that motor is damaged. It is on its way out. My dad is working on figuring out what he wants to do to rebuild that motor, but I did finally get to see it. It is every bit as glorious as I ever hoped it could possibly be. My dad had his body guy there. And his body guy kind of looked at it. He's fairly certain it's been resprayed.
Oh shoot!
But it only has between 25 and 30,000 miles on it. And from the research my dad did, that's roughly around the mileage where the pistons would crack a land and like lose an edge, like a ring landing would break.
Sure.
In the pistons that they put in that motor specifically, the Cyclone motor. And so he thinks that's probably what happened. A lot of them got a rebuild after 25 to 30,000 miles.
Yeah, because it's an 80s GM turbo engine.
Right. And so and he's like, well, I just don't want this to happen again. And I was like, honestly, I feel like modern parts and modern fuel, you'll probably be fine. Like, I really don't see this being a problem.
He's also not putting 30,000 miles on it.
Right.
He just won't.
So, probably not, no. So.
I just noticed on this interior picture the most important detail of this truck that you've been keeping from us.
Not on purpose, but go on.
It has a Sony Explode stereo in it.
Oh, I didn't honestly.
It does.
Didn't even notice.
It's so good.
An X-Plod.
I'm almost positive I had that same stereo in my Sonoma.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. So
I might still have the faceplate for that stereo sitting at the top of my toolbox right now.
I mean, everybody should have that in their toolbox just for, posterity's sake.
I hope it has the matching 4x6 two-ways in the dash.
Yeah. There's tweeters in the door. And I don't know if they look kind of like they're factory, but also like they're not.
Yeah, I don't know that they would have been doing tweeters and anything, but I don't claim to be an expert on 80s GM electronics.
It's like a nearly full bolt-on truck. Like, it's got a lot of parts underneath. The turbo's aftermarket. There's a lot of things going on. It's supposedly it has an aftermarket chip in it. And then there's the gauge pod on the A pillar that's got an air fuel ratio. And then I think it was a fuel pressure and I don't remember what the third
boost,
one was.
I would imagine.
Boost, yeah.
Yeah, maybe a boost one. There is a boost gauge in the dash.
Oh.
It has, I forgot, I was going to take a picture of this and I forgot. Do you guys, Robbie's going to remember this for sure. I'm sure Dusty will too. But do you remember the, what do they call it? Like reverse glow or like
those are exactly the ones I had on the
dash,
S14.
the dash that's white and when it lights up, it's fucking blue
or green.
Yeah, that's what's in this truck. And I was just like, God damn it,
dude!
Nostalgia.
So
whoever
wonderfully
put this,
awful.
Yeah, whoever put this truck together originally must have been just fighting the women off.
Yep.
Yeah,
he's got to have like 12 kids.
I don't. Dad said that somebody was talking to him about buying it when he had it listed for sale. Was like a dealer or something, so they ran the VIN through Carfax, and I don't remember the exact number, but he's like the 10th owner or something. Something hilarious. So
That's crazy to only have that many miles.
yeah, but we're pretty sure it's been broken for like
Forever.
the better part of probably 15 years.
Wow.
And just passed around from one person to the next with no miles added onto it because
like,
they couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. And Dad's fairly certain that the motor's shot.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I broken and or burnt piston would coincide with the 3 gauges on the A pillar for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
One follows the other.
I mean, my S10's got the same pillar gauges and the same problem. So yeah. I'm not going to argue. So, but I was really excited to see it. I told my dad probably no less than 10 times this weekend while I was walking around and looking at it. They're like, this is the coolest thing he's ever owned. Like,
and that
bar
hurt,
none.
and that cut him deep every time.
It does. I'm certain, without a doubt, that he's just like, are you fucking kidding me right now? Like, but it is though. It's like the coolest thing he's ever owned.
He says, take my grandkids and go home.
It is one of the most legendary vehicles GM has ever made.
Sure.
At one point, so there was a dealer here. It was a Nissan dealer, but the guy that owned it had a car, like had a pretty sizable collection, and he would just move. So this is just random Nissan dealer on the side of 35. Always have cool stuff sitting out in front of it, and they had a Typhoon sitting out there at one point that had quite a bit. And this was in like probably 07 or 08, and they wanted like 30 grand for it. And it was one of those like, I want it. It's so cool. It was in absolute like perfect condition inside and out. But that was so much money for a 20-something-year-old car at that point.
The Typhoon is remarkably less desirable to me.
Somehow I kind of like it more, and I don't know why. But
no, the Cyclone is the best one. Excuse me. Cyclone is by far and away the best one. So for those not in the know, the Typhoon is the 2-door Blazer, but is the same drivetrain. So it's the same all-wheel drive, automatic, 4.3-liter turbocharged motor drivetrain, but it's just a 2-door Blazer. And all of them are 2 doors. All of them are automatics. The S10s are all automatic, or technically it's not an S10, but
Cyclone.
The truck one is all automatics too. That's just the only way they came. There's not a factory manual Cyclone or Typhoon. But yeah,
because they didn't have one, that turbo probably lagged like crazy stock, and then with a stick it would have been even worse. And then 2, they probably they wouldn't have had a 5-speed that would have like lived behind it either. So
no, but I'm not convinced the automatic was that much better. But,
yeah, there were 4L60s, so that's got a great reputation.
Yeah, I was gonna say my Blazer with the 4L60 in it has at least 3 transmissions in it.
And I keep saying 80s, and it was 91 and 92. So
same, basically the same.
Listen to me, and yeah, at your own peril. But.
Yeah, but I do think there were fewer Typhoons, but I can't remember for sure if it was the same production numbers. But there's not very many of either one, either way. So, yeah. And then my dad also acquired a Dusty. You can correct me when I'm wrong here. 64 Chevelle,
65.
65.
So the only, or I say, yeah, the 64, the front end is the only real difference between 64 and 65. I think 64 is more flat, straight across the front.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, duh.
Everybody whose dad had a 64 Chevelle whenever they graduated high school. Yeah.
Yeah. So my dad, a buddy of his contacted him, and he's kind of just like, I'm over this car. I don't want to deal with selling this thing. Gave him a price and said, if you're willing to buy it for this, it's yours, And my dad has known this guy for a very, very, very long time. Has been a very good friend for 11 million years. And so, my dad's like, yeah, sure, whatever, we'll do that. I got to look at that this weekend. It's a 468 big block. Apparently, I thought it was a small block. And then Dusty is immediately like, "Bro, that's not a small block." And I was like, "Sure, it's not. I don't know."
So you sent like one picture of it, which I sent to my dad, and I told him, "Well," and it
so
says,
to be fair, the pictures that I originally sent were the ones my dad sent me. Yeah. I did not take those. But anyway, go on.
So I'm on a lifelong mission to just kind of harass my dad with whatever 64 and 5 Chevelles I come across. And like one of these days, one of them is going to stick and we're going to end up with one again, because that was his first drag car whenever he got it whenever he was in high school, and then sold it to get a dragster. And then like one of his friends ended up owning it after it got sold. So I remember riding around in that car at the drag strip with just like a sheet metal interior in it and an open header big block. And it's still just some of the coolest memories I have. So
I have similar memories of similar cars. I get it.
Yeah. So I want to find him one that's not either a total rusted out mess and also not 35 grand. And those two things don't coincide with each other. So
I have the perfect candidate for you.
I sent it to him.
So let's talk. My dad even said that if your dad was buying it, he was willing to make a hell of a deal.
Oh, okay.
His words, not mine. So
yeah, every time.
But anyway, it's the perfect, like, my first bracket car. Like, if you are a high school kid and you want to get into bracket racing and your dad's like, yeah, let's find a car, let's do this, like I'll help you out, we'll go to the drag strip on the weekends and we'll bracket together, right? Like, this will be our father-son thing. It's the perfect car for that. It looks cool. It's got a very old school vibe to it. It says Radical Rat on the side of it,
which is hilarious because my dad's car was called the Mighty Mouse.
So apparently 64, 65 Chevelle owners have a thing for themes on their drag cars.
Which my dad originally called it that.
Of them, apparently.
Yeah, my dad originally called it that because it had a small block in it, and it was the Mighty Mouse, and then he put a 468 in it, and it didn't really, the name just kind of stayed. But yeah.
So, but it's been a race car for a long time. But it's very well put together, but also like not so well put together that you'd feel bad about it. Like, it's just I really do honestly think it's one of those cars that, like, you take it out of the run it down the track all night, you put it back in the trailer, and you don't think about it until next Saturday when you bring it back to the racetrack. Like, as far as like low maintenance race cars, they don't get lower maintenance than this car. It's probably not that fast, but it's probably fast enough that some high school kid who just wants to do this drag racing thing, I mean, it's the perfect car for him. So I think my dad will be able to sell it pretty quickly. He actually joked about, like, well, shit, with as much bad luck as this gasser's giving me, maybe I'll just hang on to it as a backup drag car so that when my gas breaks down, I still can take something to the track.
There you go.
It's got a wrong emblem on the front of it. He's not going to do that.
No, I don't think he would be caught dead in it. So
plus, it's going to Texas.
Yeah. Plus, Dusty's dad's buying it.
Plus, I know a guy that could probably be talked into driving to Texas and picking it up on the way. It'd be fine.
My grandfather is going to be going to Texas soon, and someone's got to take him down there. So, right. It's not even that hard to arrange, honestly.
It wouldn't even be out of the way.
The next month and a half to 2 months, one of my family members is going to be driving a truck through Dallas anyway.
So every time
it was meant to be.
Every time I mention a Chevelle to him, he mentions that Camaro that we have that's still welded to the table, and says that
want to say
he wants to make more progress on that before he drags in.
Buy on Saturday, race on Sunday. This car's ready to go. I'm just saying.
At the drag strip, you don't have.
If you buy it, they will come. or something like that.
The last 5 years in drag strip history here has not been it's not been super favorable, but
Yeah, that's a common and reoccurring theme, unfortunately.
Yeah.
we got to go.
Eddyville, our local drag strip, up for sale.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah,
Damn.
yeah. They posted that probably a couple weeks back. They posted that they were looking. Basically, it sounded like the guy isn't shutting the track down, but is ready to let somebody else take over if somebody wants to buy it. Is kind of the feeling of the post.
Yeah.
Like it's not like this drag strip's failing and I need to sell it. It was more like I'm getting old and
I'm tired.
This
of doing
is a
this
lot
shit.
of work.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
And like I really feel like that track is probably as profitable as any small town drag strip in the country. I think that track,
which is not very,
not very, but it is to keep the gates open if it's a passion project.
Yeah,
is really what it boils down to. I do think that track is the ideal setup for something similar to the drift course that's in North Dakota. Like there's tons of real estate for it, and if you really wanted to, there's already 3/4 of that is set up at the end of the drag strip. If you really wanted to just build that, but I think it would make more sense to try and build it separate from the drag strip, but on the same property.
Yep.
There's tons of room there. And honestly, if it was 30 minutes closer to Des Moines, I think it would be way better. But it's kind of far enough away that it's a little bit annoying, but it's kind of funny when you think about it. Like road racers are so used to driving such far distances to do anything.
Yep.
And like drag racers are like, I'm not driving an hour. That's insane.
I've had that exact conversation since moving to Ohio. Because like Jess is making all these new friends at work, and they're like, "So what do you like? So yeah, can you do this racing locally?" I was like, "Yeah, Mid Ohio's only 90 minutes away, so not local." I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry. My radius went from 12 hours to 6 hours when I moved here. So anything within 6 hours seems pretty close to me."
Yeah.
yeah.
Because previously, the only drag strip or the only road course track that was within a less than 4-hour drive was only open to private testing events, basically. Yep. So,
I'm spoiled having Eagles Canyon and Crescent both like right at an hour from my house.
That doesn't make any sense.
I thought there was given that Dakota is the only track in Texas.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, there's only one track in Texas. I thought you were farther south than that. I didn't know there were that many tracks in southern Oklahoma.
So like our options for a drag strip, which Thunder Valley that's in Oklahoma and Paris both like said they were shutting down earlier this year. I think both of them ran off the people that were running the tracks and then got someone else in that now they're hosting races again before the end of the year already. So that's
I think there's a market for it. Like there's no lack of drag racing enthusiasts. If anything, with the popularity that some of these channels have achieved on YouTube, I think that's probably on an upswing, if anything. And like done well, I think drag strips could be good, lucrative racetracks.
Well, the thing that a lot of them around here because like the one that we ran at that we liked so much, they kind of like checkerboarded their schedule to where it was like 1 weekend a month race that you knew like basically this is going to pay the light bill because it's going to get enough people in, paying the entry. It's not going to draw any spectators at all because not that many people care about coming to watch bracket racing. But then the other nights there's an index night and a grudge race night and stuff that's going to pack the stands too. So, and writing the balance of that always seems to be an interesting proposition for people that run these tracks. I don't really understand it. I don't want to go run a track, so I'm not going to pretend to understand it. So
that's fair. The one that my dad goes to for the test and tunes, they have a drag strip and a dirt oval on the same property, and they like it's dirt track on Friday night, drag racing on Saturday night.
Yeah.
And the guy's been doing it for 50 years. And like everybody knows that like every Friday night there's a dirt track race and every Saturday night there's a drag race. And I don't even think he puts out a calendar anymore.
Yeah.
And people just come.
Yeah. And that,
so
like the fact that more of them don't diversify, in which I talked to a guy that was into management at NOLA Motorsports Park at SEMA one year. And NOLA has the big road course, and then they have a kart track, and then they have a skid pad. So they're doing something all the time. And I was like, I don't understand. Like, we have all of these road courses that are just road courses, and all of these drag strips that are just drag strips. Like, diversify. Like, in the way that there's a drag strip here that they do a lot of grudge stuff, and they have a huge concrete parking lot, and they don't ever open their gates until like 4 p.m. for the drag racing stuff. And we've never been able to get in there to do an autocross. I'm like, we could do a limited capacity autocross and be out of there by 3:00 if everything was done right. But
that just makes too much sense.
Sometimes money's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, if you're looking for my first bracket car and you want a 64 or 5 Chevelle, whatever it is with a big block in, let me know.
I have one more question about it that I know don't know the answer to.
I'm ready to not answer it.
Do you know if it's still a stock rear suspension or if it's got ladder bars or?
I'm like 98% certain that it's the stock rear suspension.
Sweet. So it does the G-body shuffle.
Probably.
It leaves the line and it.
So my dad told me
kind of.
My dad told me that with those, to put the slicks under it, you either have to put a little bit of a tub in it or you have to radius it. And I don't remember which one it is, but it's
radiused. Yep.
Okay, there you go. And like every drag car ever, they don't have any inner fenders in the front, and they just don't care about the fact that all that air is getting up underneath the front end and causing lift. But
that's the lead. That's the aerodynamic worries on a 65 Chevelle.
I just never understood that. Like, I looked at my dad's Tempest and I was like, everything that I have learned about time attack in the last 10 years is like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, you guys aren't managing any of this air at all, and this is awful.
Well, don't worry. The scoop on the hood that's not actually ducted to the carburetor, it's pushing all of that air back. It's fine.
That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, those cars, it's a triangulated 4 links. They leave the line. The front end will be pointed to the right, and the rear end will be pointed to the left,
as God intended. That's how you look fast.
Yeah. You can make it leave with one front tire off the ground with like barely any stall, barely.
Yeah, and like 175 horsepower.
Yeah, I mean it's a big block. It's going to make plenty of torque. So.
Right, but it only makes 250 horsepower. But don't tell old people that, because it has to make at least 500 horsepower. It's a big block.
Well, you got all the weight of the rotating assembly in there is enough to just wheel that baby on down the road.
So. That's fair. It runs on momentum and hopes and dreams. So.
Don't we all?
That was why our small block Camaro, it would pull the front tires like 4 inches off the ground and then immediately set them down because it was purely just the stored momentum and the lightweight rotating assembly.
Yeah. Yep. So, all right. I think that's enough car talk. How about that?
Yeah, I think that's perfect.
So, all right, boys.
Yep. Adam, I'm glad you're okay.
I am as well. So, Robbie, I hope your foot doesn't interfere too much with your racing.
It's fine. It won't. I can assure you.
And you've got a whole week to heal. You'll be fine by then.
It's fine.
And I'm just going to avoid ladders and stairs for the foreseeable future, and everything will be fine.
Probably a smart idea, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll catch everybody next week.